I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Let's get into Night of Champions. We're going to go over the card, break it down, and I'll give you guys my predictions. And I'm also going to do 2 news and notes for you guys. That being Smackdown potentially getting a 3rd hour, as well as Monday Night Raw having a more quote-unquote adult 3rd hour. So we'll talk about those 2 things after we go over the predictions for tomorrow night's Night of Champions. Well, tomorrow afternoon's, rather. So, let's get on with the Night of Champions card. There's 7 matches. First match, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Bianca Belair is going to retain, obviously. Asuka does deserve better, but I don't know what you could do with Asuka. I really don't. And people have to realize that WWE is not going to take the title off of Bianca Belair for a minute. Bianca Belair is very marketable for the company in and outside of WWE. It's just a fact. Bianca Belair has done a plethora of commercials. She's done a couple of things with charities. She's done a couple of things with like Nickelodeon and stuff like that. She's also been on a couple of podcasts, I believe, as well as a whole host of other things as well. So Bianca Belair is not going to lose. Bianca Belair makes WWE a lot of money, and she's still very over. Again, Bianca's going to retain. I don't know what you do with Asuka. I really don't. I don't know what you could do with Asuka. And to me, WWE has treated Asuka tremendous over the last few years. It's just she's been very dominant. Sure, she's been watered down, but you have to understand, if Asuka were to beat Bianca Belair, that would hurt Bianca big time, and it would be cool for the fans. But from a business perspective, are we going to see Asuka go on like podcasts and stuff like that? Is she going to be doing stuff with charities and stuff like that? The answer is no. So Bianca Belair, from a business perspective, makes the most sense. She's going to retain. She's going to. Same thing with Rhea Ripley. Moving on. Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. You guys know I despise Natalya. Rhea Ripley's going to win, obviously. Again, I don't give a damn what you do with Natalya. You can cast her into the sun for all I care. Natalya fucking sucks. I can't stand Natalya. I don't like her at all. Get her off television. Make her a backstage producer, or TJ can knock her up, or they can adopt a kid, whatever. Just get Natalya off my damn television quick, fast, in a hurry. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to be setting up a possible unification match between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, either at SummerSlam or at Survivor Series. That's just me thinking out loud, and that's just my opinion. I doubt they'll do it, though. Let's just be honest. I doubt they'll do it. Final women's match, Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Becky Lynch is obviously going to win. Trish doesn't need the win here. Nobody wants to boo Trish. This match is pointless. Who really cares? I think we could use Trish at SummerSlam, and after that, have her be done. I don't know what you do with her going forward after SummerSlam, but she's not doing this full time, right? It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to work. Becky's going to win, and I don't know where Becky goes after she wins. I really don't know what they can do. It seems like they could be setting up something between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, possibly. But if that were to happen, then we would probably get Becky Lynch going over on Rhea Ripley, and that would piss me off because I like Becky to an extent, but you can't halt Rhea's momentum. Rhea is great. I love Rhea. Rhea is your future. Your future of the company for the women's division are Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Raquel Rodriguez. Sure, you're going to have people in there like your Roxanne Perez's, your Cora Jade, your Tiffany Strattons when their time comes. But for your most dominant aspect, like the Amazon Glamazons, if you will, that's going to be those three ladies I just named, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Raquel Rodriguez. All right, next, Gunther versus Mustafa Ali for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther's going to retain, obviously. It doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure with Triple H booking the show, they'll probably give these guys at least a good 20 minutes. How much you want to bet? I want to bet everything that I own that this will probably go at least close to 20 minutes. At least that much. And it actually would make sense. This is Triple H. Me personally, if I was booking it, this would go about 30 seconds. But, it is what it is. We got to have the long work rate matches. It's all about long matches, guys. So there's that. And then after Gunther's done with Mustafa Ali, what are his plans for SummerSlam? Or Money in the Bank, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they're going to retain. And probably Solo's going to take the pin. I'm pretty sure the Usos are going to get involved. And that's where we see the downfall of the Bloodline. And it would make the most sense. So there's that. And I do think that Roman Reigns more than likely will lose his title at SummerSlam. It makes sense because Cody Rhodes should be the one to win Money in the Bank. Again, there's no pay-per-view at all for the month of June. So they're going to spend the entire month of June building up Money in the Bank and everything else. To me, that's not important, but I wanted to throw that out there. There is no pay-per-view for the month of June. So we're going to get 4 straight weeks of money in the Bank being built up. And Cody Rhodes needs to win Money in the Bank. Speaking of Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, the way that it's the way things have been going so far, Brock is great as a heel. I enjoy heel Brock. He kicks major ass. It would make sense for Brock to decimate Cody. It would make sense. It's believable. Cody's not at 100% since Brock messed up his arm and everything else. So that would make sense. When you do the third and final match, you could do that at Money in the Bank. Have Cody Rhodes do double duty. And that's what I would do. But Brock needs to be the one to win here and then run it back one more time at Money in the Bank. And then we need to set up something for Brock to do at SummerSlam. And I don't know what you do with Brock at SummerSlam. I can't even think of who he could face or feud with going into SummerSlam. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know anybody. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. And then the supposed main event, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm at a toss-up here, but I think I would much rather have Seth Rollins win. You could bring back McIntyre and have those guys feud for a while. That would be, you could have Drew McIntyre come on Raw, attack Seth Rollins, send the message, you can feud that through Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and you can do that throughout the summer, going into the early fall. So that's what I would do. I would run that program between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. That would be tremendous. Because I feel if Seth Rollins, if he wins, it's just going to be just like the IC title back in 2018, 2019, when he was, just doing work rate bullshit, And I like Seth Rollins, I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan. I am. I'm not going to hold you guys up. But let's just be honest here. Seth Rollins being champion long term is not good. So I would put Seth Rollins over and then have Seth Rollins feud with Drew McIntyre and have Drew McIntyre basically dethrone Rollins by SummerSlam. And they could still feud into the fall. Like, to me, Seth's better as a chaser versus somebody with the title. All right, so those are my predictions. Now let's get on to Smackdown. So it's been reported that Smackdown supposedly is going to have a third hour next year, since Fox more than likely won't take them. They're not going to spend more money with WWE, and it makes sense. So more than likely, Amazon is going to step in, and they're going to purchase a WWE. And I think that would be good. Now, the only time slots that they have, the only days that they have are like Thursdays and potentially on Tuesdays or Saturdays. I hope that they end up doing it on Tuesdays because that would make sense. You could put Smackdown on around 7, 3 hours. It ends at 10. That, to me, is kind of fine, even though it's a little bit overkill. I'd rather have that during the week, early in the week, versus having it later in the week. Because if you put it on Thursdays, it's not going to do well, especially when football rolls around next year. It's not going to do well at all. It's just not. So I think, does SmackDown need like a third hour? The answer is no. But WWE is so damn greedy with money, they're probably going to go ahead and do it with Amazon and, just put it at 3 hours anyway. To me, that's a little bit too much. You could justify it if you get rid of NXT. And what I mean by get rid of NXT, I'm saying take it off of television and put it on Peacock. That's what I would do. And then that way you just have Raw and SmackDown, and that's the only television that you get. Because really and truthfully, we get 7 hours of television every single week. Raw's 3 hours, SmackDown's 2 hours, and NXT's 2 hours. That's 7 hours. So it would make sense to potentially have SmackDown get that third hour, and you just put it on Tuesdays. It should do pretty well ratings-wise on a Tuesday, being streamed via Amazon. It would do pretty decent numbers for the most part. So that would make a lot of sense. And the last little bit of news is Raw potentially going more adult on the third hour. This has happened before. It's not really that important. Again, they'll probably end up going this route since when that merger takes place later on this year, when it's fully merged, I think what they'll probably do is have a third hour where it is adult, where we have a lot more blood, a lot more violence, a lot more swearing, stuff like that. Women wearing provocative clothing, stuff like that. So to me, it makes sense, and they're going to have to do that. There's no way they can keep the PG aspect. I mean, they could do that for the first 2 hours and then, go adult. But I do think that merger is going to force them to kind of go this route. It's going to have to. Because what people have to realize is that it's going to have to go into the more aspects of casual. Now, I know people are against the adult theme stuff, but it really doesn't matter. People say, well, NXT wasn't like that. Again, this isn't NXT. This is the main roster. People have to quit thinking that NXT was like this great thing. It wasn't. NXT Black and Gold was nothing more than a super indie. That's all it was. It was a money pit. They never drew a dime. It was a money pit. This is facts. And it lost the vision that it was originally intended for. It lost that vision. Triple H wanted to turn it into a super indie, and all the marks and smarks loved it, and that's why people liked it. But in all essence, it was a money pit. It was a complete failure. So no offense, but Triple H cannot continue to book the main roster like NXT. He can't. And I do think Raw going more mature on the third hour would actually be a good thing. It would. So I'm fine with that. Sometimes you have to go that route. Again, most of the people that are consuming the content anyway are 18 to 45. Right? Those are that's your potential demographic. That's your demographic anyway. That's watching this stuff. So you have to do stuff that pertains to people in that age bracket. Last little bit of news before I end it. There's supposed to be releases. Now, supposedly there's supposed to be releases on, I believe it's July 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's July 1st. So July 1st is supposed to be budget cuts. They're going to look to cut because they're trying to make $50 million from the merger. And the merger is going to take about, close to a year to pull through. It's probably going to be a lot more than $50 million. So I do expect them to cut a lot of people. A lot of talent are going to be out of a job, but that's just business. That's just how it works. Any merger that you do, you're going to have people lose their jobs like crazy. So it's not going to be just talent. It's going to be writers. It's going to be people in the office. It's going to be different types of people losing their job. That's just facts. People will get cut. It's not going to be just wrestlers. People have to realize that. It's not just wrestlers getting cut. You'll probably have referees get cut. You'll have writers getting cut. You'll have people in upper management getting cut. That's going to happen too. So that's what's going to happen with these mergers. Who do I think is going to get cut when it comes to talent? I don't know. It could be a number of people. It could be Bray Wyatt. It could be Braun Strowman. It could be a lot of people. But I don't think that they're going to do budget cuts because July 2nd is Money in the Bank. That would be weird. Why would you go ahead and do a budget cut a day before Money in the Bank, a major pay-per-view? That's not going to happen. If they end up going through with it, it'll probably be a couple weeks after Money in the Bank. That's what they'll probably end up doing, is end up doing the budget cuts by that time. So, yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.